Welcome everyone and thank you for joining today's video where we will dive deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the world of coin collecting, a story that surrounds the 1957 one-penny USA coin, a coin that at face value is just a single cent but under the microscope of history, numismatic intrigue, error possibilities, and minting mysteries it has been valued by collectors and enthusiasts at an astounding worth of around $0.76 million, a truly shocking difference from its humble 1-cent denomination. And this incredible transformation of value comes from the intersection of rarity, human error during production, hidden features, and the historical narrative that coins carry with them as tiny pieces of art, culture, and economic history. Now when we look at the 1957 penny, the first thing to note is that it belongs to the famous Lincoln wheat cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. This series is particularly beloved by collectors because of the intricate wheat stalk design on the reverse, which symbolizes prosperity and agricultural strength in the United States, and during the 1950s the US Mint produced these coins in very high numbers, but even among millions of coins there are a few that stand out because of striking errors, mint mark oddities, planchette mistakes, and doubled dies that elevate their value dramatically, and the 1957 penny is one of those pieces. With the right combination of rarity and error, it has been said to command prices well into hundreds of thousands of dollars, in some rare cases reaching nearly $750,000, which is why collectors chase after it so passionately. Now let us break down why exactly such a small copper coin can hold such immense value. First, we have to understand the minting process, which even though is highly technical and precise still leaves room for human error. The dies that are used to strike coins can be doubled during preparation, leading to what collectors call doubled die errors, where the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date itself show a shadow-like doubling that can be seen with the naked eye or under magnification. In 1957 such double die varieties have been reported, and these are among the most prized errors. Next comes mint mark mistakes, which are crucial in determining the coin's rarity. In 1957 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark and at the Denver Mint with a small D mint mark under the date, but during die preparation sometimes the mint mark was punched incorrectly, misaligned, repunched, or even completely omitted, and such mint mark anomalies are among the most searched for traits that can catapult the value of an otherwise ordinary penny to astronomical heights. Now planchette errors also add another dimension to the 1957 penny's fame. A planchette is the blank piece of metal on which the coin is struck, and if the wrong metal was used, or if the planchette was clipped, cracked, or improperly prepared, the resulting coin would be instantly unique. Imagine a 1957 penny struck on a dime planchette or on a leftover steel planchette from 1943. These kinds of off-metal strikes are extremely rare and worth huge sums. Collectors also look for lamination errors, where part of the surface peels away, revealing layers beneath, creating one-of-a-kind patterns that no other coin will ever replicate. The 1957 penny also sits at the end of the wheat penny series since 1958 marked the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, so these final year wheat cents already carry a sense of historical closure and nostalgia, making them more collectible. When you combine this historical significance with errors like doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and cuts, you start to see why the 1957 penny is revered in the numismatic community. It's not just about the copper value or the 1-cent purchasing power, it's about the story that each coin tells and the possibility that one tiny error in production created a rarity that collectors would pay fortunes to own. Some reported auction sales show 1957 pennies in pristine condition with errors fetching tens of thousands, and in cases where both rarity and condition aligned, values were recorded at staggering levels such as $0.76 million, which is the number that shocks casual observers but excites serious coin hunters. And beyond these technical aspects there is also the human fascination with error coins. People love the idea that imperfection creates value, that a small mistake in a government mint can result in a life-changing discovery for someone who happens to check their pocket change carefully. And this dream of finding treasure in the most ordinary places fuels the popularity of videos, articles, and auctions about coins like the 1957 penny. Collectors comb through jars of old pennies hoping to stumble upon the right date, the right mint mark, and the right error combination, and while the odds are slim, the stories of those who have succeeded keep the hope alive. Now let's consider the grading aspect. For any coin, value condition plays a huge role. Coins are graded on a scale by organizations like PCGS or NGC, ranging from poor to mint state 70, and a high-grade coin with sharp details, no wear, and clear error features will always command a higher price than a worn example. So when a 1957 penny with a rare error appears in mint state red condition, meaning the original copper luster is still vibrant, its value skyrockets compared to a brown or circulated example. This is why collectors go to great lengths to preserve their coins properly, avoiding fingerprints, moisture, and scratches that could diminish their grade. And when we talk about a penny being worth 0.76 million, it is usually such a high-grade specimen combined with a dramatic and obvious error that achieves such a valuation. So when you hear these incredible figures, it is not random but based on a combination of condition, rarity, demand, and historical context. Speaking of historical context, the year 1957 was a time when the US economy was shifting, the post-war boom was in full swing, and the penny still carried real buying power. You could get a piece of candy or gum for a cent, so these coins were heavily circulated, meaning most examples today are worn down, which further increases the rarity of pristine examples. Every surviving gem from 1957 tells us not only about minting but also about daily American life at that time, children saving pennies in jars, families rolling them for banks, and millions passing through soda machines, candy stores, and gas stations. The thought that one of those ordinary cents could now be worth more than a luxury car or even a house adds an emotional and cultural weight to the story. Now another fascinating aspect of error coins like the 1957 penny is the variety of striking mistakes that exist. Some are off-center strikes where part of the design is missing and a blank crescent of the planchet is visible. Some are broad strikes where the collar that holds the coin in place failed and the coin spread wider than normal. Some are die clashes where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly outlines on the coins. And some are struck through errors where a piece of debris or grease was on the die at the moment of striking, leaving a blank or indented area. All of these possibilities make coin collecting exciting because each error is unique. No two are identical, and that uniqueness is what gives value. Collectors love the hunt for these anomalies, and over decades of searching, the 1957 penny has proven to be fertile ground for many such discoveries, leading to the law that a single specimen with the right combination of features could command close to $1 million. And beyond the technical market value, there is also a sense of national heritage. Lincoln's portrait has been on the penny since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in the world, and every variation of it, including the 1957 penny, is part of that legacy. Owning a rare error penny is like holding a piece of that history, a tangible artifact that connects you to both the minting process and the broader story of America. And this emotional attachment combined with financial potential is why auctions of rare pennies often draw fierce bidding wars. People are not just buying metal, they are buying history, uniqueness, and prestige. Now when it comes to the reported valuation of 0.76 million for a 1957 penny, skeptics might ask how such a number is justified, and the answer lies in the numismatic market where rarity, demand, and timing intersect. If two or more wealthy collectors desire the same coin and it is the only one of its kind known, the price can soar beyond traditional estimates. This is how records are set, and coins like the 1957 penny become legends, and once a legendary price is achieved, it further reinforces the coin's reputation, drawing more attention and interest, which can sustain or even increase its value over time. So when we say the 1957 penny can be worth 0.76 million, we are speaking of the extreme end of the spectrum where rarity, condition, demand, and historical allure all converge. For the average collector, a 1957 penny might be worth a few dollars or a few hundred depending on grade, but the possibility of the jackpot is what keeps everyone intrigued, and that possibility is very real because error coins are by definition unpredictable. You never know when one will surface, maybe in a dealer's stock, maybe in an inherited jar of change, or maybe even in circulation, though that is increasingly rare. The magic of coin collecting is that every pocket change search has the potential to uncover something extraordinary, and that's why coins like the 1957 penny remain in the spotlight decades after they were minted. So to everyone watching this vid today, because we are going to dive deep into one of the most fascinating stories from the world of coin collecting, where something as ordinary and overlooked as a 2005 1-penny USA coin can actually turn into a treasure worth an astonishing $0.12 million. And while at first glance many people might think, how could a coin with a face value of just 1 cent be worth so much, the truth lies in the hidden details, minting errors, and special circumstances that set it apart and make it so valuable to collectors, investors, and numismatic enthusiasts across the globe. And as we go through this exploration, I will explain to you not just what makes the 2005 1 penny so unique, but also how errors, mistakes, and mint mark issues create immense demand in the coin market, and how sometimes the smallest details invisible to the casual eye can mean the difference between an everyday coin you might toss into a jar and a collector's dream piece that can fetch a life-changing amount at auctions. So let us begin by first understanding that the United States penny, officially called the Lincoln cent, has been one of the most widely produced coins in American history, and by 2005 billions of these coins had already been minted. Yet in this sea of mass production, it is the rare outliers, the few mistakes, and the anomalies that carry the extraordinary value. And in this year, several factors combined to produce pennies that became the subject of fascination among experts and treasure hunters alike. Now imagine for a moment the minting process, which involves striking metal planchets with immense pressure using engraved dies. And while technology and quality control in mints have advanced greatly over time, perfection is never guaranteed, and when billions of coins are struck, even the tiniest mechanical fault or human oversight can result in error coins. So when we talk about the 2005 1 penny USA coin that is worth $0.12 million, we are referring to coins that left the mint with errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, wrong planchette strikes, die cracks, cuts, repunched mint marks, or even transitional metal mistakes, and each of these errors can dramatically change the desirability and value of a coin. For instance, a double die error is when the coin die itself gets engraved twice at slightly different angles, and when it strikes a coin the design looks doubled, often seen in the inscriptions or the date. And for the 2005 penny, such doubling errors, especially on the words Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, or the date itself, can command enormous sums. Then we have off-center strikes where the coin design appears shifted, leaving part of the coin blank and the rest with a partial design, and depending on how far off-center the strike is, the more dramatic and valuable the coin becomes. Collectors pay huge premiums for coins where perhaps only 50% of the design shows and the rest is a blank copper surface. And then there are clipped planchets where a section of the coin looks like a bite has been taken out, caused when the blank discs are cut too close together at the mint, and these errors too raise the rarity and value. But among all error types, perhaps the most exciting are the wrong planchette errors, where a penny design accidentally gets struck on a blank meant for another coin such as a dime or a foreign coin. And in 2005 certain mistakes of this kind did occur, making those pieces astronomically valuable. Now let's consider mint mark errors, which play a huge role in coin valuation, because each mint in the United States, whether Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, has its own identifying mark, and sometimes those mint marks were hand-punched, leading to variations such as repunched mint marks or even missing ones. So when a 2005 penny shows something unusual about its mint mark, like a double D or a misplaced S, it instantly gains recognition and desirability. And this brings us to another important aspect, which is the grading and condition of the coin, because no matter how rare an error is, if the coin is worn out and heavily circulated, its value is reduced, whereas if the same coin is in mint state or uncirculated condition with its original luster intact, then its value can skyrocket to levels like $0.12 million. And professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC certify these coins, giving collectors the confidence to invest large sums. Now when we say the 2005 penny is worth $0.12 million, we are not saying that every 2005 penny you might find in your pocket change is going to make you rich, because most of them are still just worth 1 cent, but it means that certain rare specimens with major errors combined with high-grade condition have fetched those prices at auctions. And that is why treasure hunters and everyday enthusiasts alike continue to check their change in hopes of stumbling across one of these hidden gems. And the possibilities are truly exciting, because in coin collecting history we have seen time and again how ordinary coins become legends due to mistakes. For example, the 1955 double die penny, the 1943 copper penny, and the 1972 double die penny, all of which now command thousands or even millions of dollars in the marketplace. And the 2005 penny stands among these as a modern marvel of minting error rarity. And if we analyze further, we see that the year 2005 was significant not just because of these errors, but also because by this time the composition of pennies had already shifted to a copper-plated zinc core, and sometimes transitional errors occur when leftover blanks of an older composition get used accidentally. So if by chance a 2005 penny was struck on a copper planchette leftover from pre-1982 stock, it would instantly become a highly prized transitional error, and that alone could be the reason why one sold for around $0.12 million. And when you combine this with possible Double die features or mint mark variations the rarity compounds, making it nearly one of a kind, which is what collectors crave the most. And beyond the technical side, there is also the human fascination with rarity and history, because owning a coin that is technically an error is like owning a tangible piece of the minting story, a moment when the machinery or human oversight let a unique creation slip into circulation. And that is what turns a humble penny into a collectible treasure. Now, many people wonder how to identify these coins, and the answer is careful observation under magnification, checking for doubling in letters, looking at the rims to see if they are misaligned, weighing the coin to check if it matches the official specifications of 2.5 grams for zinc cents or 3.1 grams for older copper cents, examining the mint mark closely for repunching or misplacement, and most importantly preserving the coin properly so its condition does not degrade, because once a rare error is scratched, cleaned improperly, or damaged, its value can plummet dramatically. And this is where knowledge, patience, and attention to detail pay off for collectors. Now let's imagine a scenario where someone found a 2005 penny with a dramatic double die error on the obverse, struck on a leftover copper planchet, graded mint state 68 by a top grading service, and confirmed to have a repunched Denver mint mark. Such a specimen would check multiple rarity boxes, and in an auction with eager bidders it could realistically achieve a price of $0.12 million or even higher. And that is exactly why this story is so compelling, because it shows how hidden treasures may still be in circulation today, tucked away in jars, purses, or old collections without anyone realizing, and it inspires people to look closer, to learn, and to appreciate the artistry and unpredictability of coinage. And the market for rare coins continues to thrive globally, with investors seeing them as not just collectibles but also stores of value, since rarity combined with demand ensures long-term appreciation. And when newspapers, blogs, or television stories highlight a coin like the 2005 penny selling for astronomical amounts, it fuels even more excitement, driving up demand and encouraging more people to participate, creating a cycle of fascination and investment. And so the story of the 2005 1-penny USA coin worth $0.12 million is not just about an error or a mistake, it is about the intersection of history, art, economics, and human curiosity. It is about how small details can change everything, and it is a reminder to never overlook the simplest objects because they may carry immense value. And when you think about how many of these coins might still be hidden out there, the possibilities are endless. And that is why collectors keep their eyes sharp, magnifying glasses ready, and knowledge growing. Because one day you might just stumble upon a penny that looks ordinary but is in fact a rare treasure that could change your life. And this is what makes the world of coin collecting so endlessly fascinating, always keeping us wondering what other surprises the humble penny might hold. So as we conclude, remember that the 2005 penny worth $0.12 million stands as a shining example of how rarity, error, and condition come together to create value far beyond face. And while most of us may only see a cent, those who know where to look and what to look for understand that sometimes 1 cent is worth a fortune. And that story continues to inspire people across the world to treasure hunt every coin they come across.